Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's session. My name's Ian Lawless. I am Head of Content and Partnerships here at Procurement Leaders. Great to be with you guys. We are here to discuss a little bit today around the 2026 Americas Procurement Congress agenda and help to demystify some of those key themes and topics that delegates can expect to experience with us on site in New Orleans. Delighted I'm not alone for this to unpack some of these key themes that we're going to be exploring in some of those reasons and sessions not to be missed. So alongside me, I have Jack Lange, CPO at USAA. Jack, really appreciate you coming to spend some time with us today and to give a little bit about a teaser maybe for your session, but also a little bit around why you attend this event year on year with us. So welcome. Really appreciate you being here. And that is my first question to you, really. I know you've been attending this event for a number of years, a variety of different roles and capacities. Why is it a great event to attend or the right time to attend an event in March for you to be with us every year?
Yeah, Ian, first of all, thanks for having me here today. Really excited about this year's event. Very happy to be a part of it. Look, what I love about the Congress, the events throughout the year, and really procurement leaders in general, is it's never just a theoretical discussion, right? It's about peers from across our profession coming together, talking honestly about what it takes to create impact, under real constraints. And frankly, at a time when the opportunities and challenges have never been greater for our line of work. So the amount of just ideas and in many instances, validation that the path we're on is kind of the right one is what we tend to come out of these events with. And it's a great, it's a great turbocharge or a shot in the arm for us to get after our priorities this year.
Yeah, I love that. I'm looking forward to you sharing a bit more in a minute, also a bit more around the actual session you're going to be involved in, because for a really relatively new CPO in seat, it's a really exciting time for you to get your feet under the table, but also kind of make progress and impact in an initial time scale. So we're going to come on to that in just a moment. Just as a bit of a broader bit of narrative or context for everybody around the event, and for those who may not have secured your passage yet and still yet to do so. Hopefully this helps to give a bit more further depth on what you can experience with us across the 3 days in New Orleans. But we're going to be focusing this year on a central theme that allows us to really dig into rapid breakthroughs and lasting value. And for us, that's centered across 3 days worth of content, networking, and experiences. So we kick off on what we call our day zero, which is March the 23rd, with an AI forum. And that's all this year about how we can truly build an agentic future for the procurement function. Some brilliant leaders who are going to be joining us across that day. Jack's actually going to be there with us as well for that one too, which is great to have you on that one as well as the main program. But we've got leaders as well from Gap, from PepsiCo, JLL, Autodesk, Accenture, Meta, as well as some fantastic partners in this space who've got really exciting AI solutions where they're able to kind of not, again, as Jack links there too, not just be theoretical, but let's talk about the practical and the implementation sides of what it means to hopefully build a truly agentic function. So that'll be a really engaging day. It's driven by a lot of roundtable discussions, a lot of workshops, working groups to solve real world problems, and should be a really exciting opportunity before we then have a welcome drinks and some dinners that evening for those that are going to be in attendance on the evening of the 23rd. So a lot to look forward to with that AI forum to get us started. We then move into the Congress proper on that 24th and 25th at the Roosevelt in New Orleans. And we are going to be focusing, as ever, on a bit of a specific topic for each day of our program. So we always ensure that we've got a bit of a specific focus for each day. And this year's no different. So we're going to have a day one, which allows us to dive a little bit more into transformation and growth, kind of ambitious transformations. How do we get speed for top line growth? Where's resilience coming from? Are we thinking about strategic nearshoring or local opportunities? And then opportunities for us to really think about how we deliver now, but also shape tomorrow. So how can we really think about the function of the future? And that's going to be, I think, an interesting session. It's led by Magali Juarez, Chief Procurement Sustainability Officer for North America at Kraft Heinz. She's going to be diving into how procurement can really deliver value and growth and the new plans to demerge and what are the opportunities for the function to be nimble nimble and agile to support growth in pretty complex separations, kind of the workings of Kraft Heinz there. So I think a really interesting session from her. And we always have a PLX speaker. Now, PLX is probably a term for procurement leaders members who might be more familiar with. Think about a TEDx, but an out and industry speaker specific for a procurement leaders event. And really cool one for this year to start on day one to kick us off with. And we have Neil Hoyne, the chief strategist at Google. He's going to be talking about the critical necessity of leveraging smart data, AI, and a spectrum of emerging technologies. So I think that's going to help just again bring a really, really outside picture into how procurement can really, really continue to be so more strategic and make those rapid breakthroughs and a lasting impact that we need to do so. And then before I come to Jack, we're going to bring him in for a bit of insight on his session. Day two, we look at purpose and action. So that's the second part of our main theme for this year. We're going to be joined by Marcello Stefani, Chief Procurement Officer at PepsiCo. He's going to be sharing his vision of the future and the transformation that's going on at that global beverage company and how you build that leadership muscle as a CPO as well. We'll dive into supplier relationship management in action for our partnerships innovation angle. We'll look at how we really build high-performing teams and the talent, the blueprint that's required in the face of change for our people and performance measures that need to be in place. And we'll start day two as well with another out of industry perspective. Our PLX on day two is Vijay Gupta, violinist and founder of Street Symphony. I think it's going to be, and who will be playing for us as well. So we want to, as ever, create a moment in time where people are taken out of their day-to-day and inspired by leaders in different spheres. And he's going to be talking about how music can really be a champion in bridging that gap with a lot of marginalized communities, concert halls, kind of how music can be something that brings people together in times of division as well. So really interesting, kind of inspiring session from him to take us into that one on day two. But Jack, I want to bring you in. I've shared a lot there about kind of what is going to be facing our delegates on site at New Orleans to look forward to this year. Amongst all of the content, a lot of dinners, a lot of opportunities to network, closed door sessions specific for CPO leaders, some for heads of excellence as well, or leaders within certain cohorts or disciplines in the function. But you're going to be joining us and taking part in a session around what success in 2026 looks like. And as a new CPO, being one that's sometimes under pressure to accelerate your first year impact, drive enterprise-wide value quite quickly. You're going to be alongside CPOs at Bayer and at Bracco discussing kind of what the first 100 days looks like in office and how you really build a firm foundation for long-term success. So, I just want to get a couple of thoughts from you really on as you're thinking about it, how are you defining value to support your organization and drive that enterprise-wide growth in your first year?
Yeah, Ian, it's for what I'll say, USAA is we have the benefit of having a really clear mission and purpose. And for us, our North Star is our members. It is the members of the U.S. community, U.S. military community, their families that we support. And so for us, that gives us really clarity of purpose and a understanding that every procurement decision that we make can ultimately show up in, their experience, in the security and trust that they have of us as a financial services provider, and the affordability of products and services that we offer to that community. So when we think about how we're shifting, look, savings, internal efficiency, speed, all of these things matter. But for us, we're really reframing the work that we do to keep our member at the center and then ensure that we're ultimately delivering for them.
Brilliant, thank you. I think great to have that mission. Is the function for you shifting from traditional cost savings to value driver? We talk about kind of a level of maturity here across a lot of our membership as to kind of where you might be sitting in that as being that growth driver or growth lever for the organization. Kind of how are you sitting currently, or what's your priority to kind of move forward?
Yeah, it's really all of the above. It is continued. There is absolutely a need and continued expectation for cost discipline, right? So we are delivering that across, the majority of our deal work. Where can we bring expenses down? Demand, kind of traditional, procurement levers, competition, demand management, those types of things. But more and more, it's around how we build the businesses, how we bring new capabilities and offerings to our service members.
Yeah.
And new services to our members, looking for areas that we can contribute to revenue growth, those types of things.
And when you think about kind of the function that you're and the impact that you want to deliver, kind of how do you gauge it? How do you kind of look at metrics when it comes to kind of the impact that you're delivering to the business? Not just thinking about from the cost perspective, are there more kind of intangibles or ways in which that you look to kind of think about the impact that you're having in your first year?
Yeah, look, I think one of the things that's true across the board is just the pace of change, new capabilities that are out there in the market, and the desire to innovate and ultimately adopt. And so it's hard to, think of a metric beyond cycle time, right? To measure, are we delivering at the speed of business? Are we able to bring in those new capabilities, new offerings? So we certainly measure cycle time as a KPI. We look at it in several different ways, but it's not purely just speed for speed's sake. It
Yeah.
is a balance with the value that we're creating, with the making sure that we have good risk management in place, good cost discipline, and then ultimately, are we delivering against our internal clients' timelines, right? So the way we're thinking about it is, how do we rebalance our procurement system to drive for all of those outcomes and to make sure we're ultimately delivering for our clients and ultimately for our members?
Yeah. And talk to me a little bit about the team. I'm always intrigued by this side of it, especially when you take over a function as well. How are you building and mobilizing the team kind of to come on the next kind of phase of this roadmap and this journey? Kind of how are you setting out for them to think about development of a roadmap for the next couple of years so that you can scale for success and bring them on that journey with you?
Yeah, our roadmap is really focused on capabilities and performance, and then what it's going to take for us to get there versus purely, technology or tools. What I think is really interesting about not just where we're going, but where we've been, and kind of what we're doing now is it's an interesting mix of, the old school and the new school, right? So for new school, we are adopting AI. We've got 4 models in production. We've got another 2 coming next quarter. We are seeing great results from that adoption, although we're still kind of early on. But we are also seeing just as much unlock from, clarifying decision rights, old school process optimization. Where can we establish clear ownership to drive things more quickly? So success for us, as we think about, this year is we've got to be able to prove that these capabilities and this new model, this new way of working, is actually, taking hold, and we're seeing the outcomes that we expect. And then longer term, it's about scaling across all of the work that we do. Where can we simplify the work that may be low risk, low complexity to move even faster and more efficient? Where can we standardize critical paths? And then how do we make sure we are embedding those member-centric outcomes across all of the work that we do?
Brilliant. We're going to leave it there, Jack, because we don't want to give everything away ahead of the session with you at the actual event itself. Thank you for giving us a bit of a teaser on kind of some of your thoughts for the panel you're going to be involved in. As I mentioned, you're going to be there with us at the AI Forum as well. I know you're supporting one of the partners that you work with on your digital roadmap as well, and globality. So great to have you involved with us on that session too. From the perspective of this call today, hopefully this has helped for those of you who are still hopefully yet to make up your mind and book your pass to come and join with us in New Orleans. We'll be delighted to have you guys with us. Please do reach out directly to our team at delegates at procurementleaders.com, and you'll be able to secure your places there. There's a huge amount to look forward to in New Orleans. It's not just an energizing city, it's an energizing time, I think, at the minute for this function to get together. New Orleans is a great place to bring us all together to do just that and really embrace everything, the cultural side of it, the musical heritage side of it that it brings, and for a function that continues just to continue to go on the rise. And this is a great time for us to come together, reflect on challenges and opportunities that we've all got as a community. So, Jack, thank you again for being here today. If anybody wishes to reach out directly to me as well for any further conversation, sorry, I should say, about joining us, we'd be delighted to have that conversation with you. But otherwise, looking forward to seeing everybody in New Orleans. Thanks, Jack. Have a good rest of the day.
Thanks, Ian. Looking forward to it.
Cheers. Bye bye.